Hello, I'm Gary York, CorruptionBehindBars.com. Thank you for watching. Today I want to talk about a topic that has caused a lot of injuries and even deaths. And that's having a relationship with an inmate and how it could be the death of you. It's a very serious situation, and sometimes when we see staff-inmate relationships at a jail or a prison, we see the officer leaves, and sometimes the officers are arrested depending on what type of situation they're caught in with the inmate, and then most people think nothing of it, but really it's a very dangerous situation, and it can cause a lot of injuries within your jail and within your prison. It can also cause death. Corruption in our jails and prison system go far beyond just dishonesty and people coming and going as we catch them doing dishonest deeds. Corruption causes breakdowns in our jail and prison system that can lead to inmate escapes, resulting in deaths of innocent people, officers being injured during the escape or killed, innocent citizens being injured or killed during an escape, and many times staff love affairs with inmates are the result of an escape taking place. And when these escapes take place, your wives, husbands, children, and grandchildren are all at risk out on the streets that they could run across the escapees who have many times killed citizens on the street during their escape run. Inmate love-lust relationships are very dangerous, and the officer at any moment can decide to break off the relationship. And by breaking off the relationship with the inmate, this causes the inmate in many cases to become irate, disillusioned, upset, angry, and they will turn on another inmate, or they will turn on a staff member or a prison officer or jail officer and harm them just out of anger because the relationship is broke off. Inmates have been told by staff members that the relationship is going to end, and the inmate attacks the male or female officer, whichever case it may be, and injures the officer. And in some cases, officers have been beaten and raped when they've told the inmate that their love/lust relationship is over. So remember, having a relationship with an inmate could be the death of you. It's definitely going to get you to lose your job, lose your certification, and possibly have criminal charges filed against you, depending on what is found during the staff-inmate relationship investigation. So there's no win situation for having a relationship with an inmate, none whatsoever. Inmates also have become jealous of other staff members or other inmates. Example, female officers having a relationship with a male officer or a male inmate. The male inmate sees the female officer laughing and talking with male correctional officers, or even sees the female officer laughing and joking with other inmates. And the inmate becomes unstable and irate, and he attacks either the officer he is jealous of or the inmate he is jealous of, or sets up everyone for failure by planting contraband or making false allegations against staff. See, you have to think outside the box. It's not just a relationship between the officer and the inmate, and that's all it is, and we take care of it. This staff-inmate relationship can cause harm to many, many people, and many of us don't stop and think how serious it is and how dangerous it is for everyone in the jail or prison when you have a relationship with an inmate. So think about that. Another example is the Clinton Correctional Institution, upstate New York, 2015. Joyce Mitchell was a civilian employee at the prison working in the sewing shop. She smuggled contraband into the prison and had inappropriate relationship with an inmate, Richard Matt, who was serving a 25-year to life sentence for dismembering another person. And she fell in love/lust with him, and it all started out with Richard Matt and his partner David Sweet, who was in prison for life for killing a sheriff's deputy. Life with no chance of parole. Both these inmates worked in a sewing shop. They wrote her little notes, drew her pictures, made her little things on nice little cards, and told her how beautiful she was. And of course it starts with the little things, as we talked about in my last video, and it moved into bigger things. It moved into a love relationship with Richard Matt. Then she started smuggling in things like food for the two inmates and lighted reading glasses, which she later learned they were using to dig a tunnel for their escape. And then she progressed to smuggling hacksaw blades hidden in frozen hamburger meat to the inmates. And they used all these things and tools and items she smuggled in for them to escape. And they popped out in a Shawshank Redemption type manner onto out of a manhole cover on a street outside of Clinton Correctional Institution. She was supposed to pick up the inmates on the street and have supplies for them in a getaway car, but at the last moment she decided not to do so. Richard Matt was shot and killed, and David Sweet was also shot, but he was not killed. He was recaptured. And in the end, Joyce Mitchell got 8 years prison. So she placed a lot of people in danger. It took a few weeks for a manhunt to catch these inmates. People in the streets and citizens were placed in danger. And then she cried like a baby at her sentencing. Well, I have no remorse for her. I wish she would have gotten more than 8 years prison for what she did, because what she did was place everybody in danger, from inside the prison to the streets. So remember, it's not worth it. There's plenty of people in the free world. I never can understand what would make an employee fall in love or lust with an inmate, but it happens, and it's dangerous for all of us when this happens. If you see someone getting too close to an inmate, a male officer with a female inmate, or female officer with a male inmate, or any prison employee, get them off to the side and talk to them. Tell them to report to their supervisor, and maybe they can save themselves before it's too late. If they do not want to admit something is going on, and you have seen something that leads you to believe something is going on, report to your supervisor immediately, because you could be saving a life. You could be saving that person's life who's involved with the inmate as well, and you could be saving a huge incident at the prison, either with an injury, a death, or an escape. Thank you for listening. Please subscribe and tell your friends about my YouTube channel. Thank you very much, and have a great week.